And I'm recording. Gus, go with the theme song.
No, I don't do that.
No?
I'm not a bitch.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Rooster Teeth. Is that how that works?
You are listening to the 51st Rooster Teeth podcast.
We're up to like 53 now, aren't we? Somewhere around there?
I think so, somewhere around there.
If everything goes right, this could be the third one to actually make it to the site.
Yeah, not going to happen.
So welcome.
Probably not.
And last week we talked about what?
We talked about the first quarter of 2009.
I got to take issue with you guys. You guys said that I'm a secret WoW player, and I wouldn't admit it. I went back and listened to the thing when I was out of the room. I don't play WoW. I don't play. I'm Bernie, by the way.
Now you don't play. Because the day after the podcast, you said your 10-day trial ran out and you refused to renew it, and you haven't played since the podcast.
If I was a player, I would renew.
It's because we called you out and we found your secret, and you're embarrassed, so
Dude,
now you quit playing.
dude,
it's totally clinical.
You turned the game back on at level 59, and when you stopped, you were level 63. Is that right?
65.
65. So you got 6 levels in your 60s. That's playing the game.
66.
66.
Let's
Come
give
on,
credit
dude.
where credit is due.
That's like 1 million experience points. Probably more than that.
7 levels in 10 days. It's way more than that.
That's a lot.
But what I'm saying is that if I really play the game, I would have a subscription. I would be a player of the game, and I'm not.
So what you're trying to beg for a free subscription is what we're getting at here.
Has that ever worked ever, Maserati?
I got one.
Did you really?
Yeah.
You son of a bitch.
Who gave you a free subscription to WoW?
JB.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Doesn't that suck, dude?
You know you have to report that to the IRS. Did you report that in your...
Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm totally legit.
What is it? What's the... What is the reason, the made up guy's reason for that?
Oh, no. He just works there, so he gets 5 free subscriptions or something like
And
that.
you get to be one of the 5.
Yeah.
Can we talk
I'm
about
in
him?
the circle.
He's like Secret JB. He's also the dude who... There's a store at Microsoft that not many people know about. And it's like a friends and family store, employee store, where you can go and buy stuff that Microsoft makes for nothing. How much is a copy of Office at the Microsoft store?
It's I think it's like
It's
so it's like $40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
$40.
$35-$40, yeah. And that's cool. But
Yeah.
they only get so much money per year they can spend there.
Right.
Like a budget that they can run through.
And they put stickers on all the software that says this was purchased by Microsoft employee number XXXX. And I bought a used copy of Halo 3 in Seattle last summer from GameStop, and it said this was bought at it had the sticker on it. This was bought
Really?
at the Microsoft company store by employee, XXXX.
Fucking damn it.
What the hell is
Jesus
that?
Christ, is that a phone?
So what they do, they
I guess it's someone who bought it at the Microsoft store and then sold it back to GameStop.
Why would
probably
you
for
sell
more
a copy
money.
of Halo 3?
They probably sold it for more money than...
people sell it back.
Who the fuck is this?
Well, answer the phone.
Find
Rooster
out.
Teeth is Gus speaking. Yes.
Do you want us to leave the room?
Yes.
You know, one of the first steps in making a podcast that you should always do.
Turn the fucking phone off.
Turn it
It's a
off.
fan. We're doing our podcast right now.
That's
Put him up to the thing.
Random
Hold on,
fan
we're going to
call.
put you on speaker. We're going to put you on. How do you turn the speaker on this thing? Speaker. All right, who's this?
This is David Keller.
David Keller. You interrupted our podcast.
Why'd you interrupt our podcast, David Keller?
I'm sorry, I didn't know. I'm on my break, and I found the number searching through the internet, and I want to kind of talk to you guys. I'm a big fan. I've owned all the DVDs, watched all the commentary.
This is probably a bad precedent for future podcasters to have people calling in, isn't it?
Fucking internet has our phone number.
All right, well, what can we do for you? Do you have a question as the first caller?
One, me and my friends had my friend's kind of starting his this little skit show. He wants to put it on YouTube or whatever.
We're gonna sue.
And I came up with an idea, but I want to get your guys' permission first. I was thinking about using your guys' lines in a kind of like in a restaurant setting, but pretty much like, hey, yeah, you ever wonder why we're here? And it's kind of do these little clips, just like, oh my god, But it's kind of since it's like pretty much word for word, I wanted you guys' permission first. I didn't want to just do it and get hit with copyright or something.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. If you could send that, actually, can you send that to business@roosterteeth.com? I'm yelling because I'm...
Now they know our fucking email address.
Well, that's out there. Tell them to send
Yeah,
it to business.
just send us an email to business@roosterteeth.com talking about that, and we'll get back to you. We're normally pretty good about answering that kind of stuff.
We're normally pretty good about answering stuff like that. Yeah, but just, usually the thing is, as long as, just tell how you're going to use it, whether or not it's going to be sold anywhere or anything like that, because that'll make a difference. But just send it to us.
I don't think it's going to be planned to be anything sold. It's just a kind of that little like a Christian, like Saturday Night Live type skit show. And I just had this an idea, and like I said,
Red vs. Blue would be a good mix for that, I think.
Certain clips
There's
from
strong
you guys
Christian
and have
themes, I would
it so
say,
set
in
up
most of
that,
our Red vs. Blue.
It's because it's situational humor. Put in, like, all of a sudden now it's restaurant. I just think I thought it'd be kind of funny. Just doing little tweaks here and there because, from war to restaurant. But a lot of it just...
You ever wonder, little tweaks from restaurant to war? Just little tiny tweaks. Like instead of killing people, you're eating animals.
So I don't think it's anything planned for...
Instead of getting bombed, you get your check.
Instead of a machine gun, they have salad
I'm a
forks.
big fan. I was just watching season 1 last night.
Cool.
Listen, I've been a big fan. I always wanted to kind of meet you guys. I live in southern Michigan, so I don't get to really go
Southern
anywhere.
Michigan. Do people in southern Michigan, do they have to differentiate themselves from people in northern Michigan? Is that a big deal? Like, is northern Michigan considered really part of the state?
Well, I couldn't hear you.
Do people in southern Michigan have to differentiate themselves from people in northern Michigan? Like, is there a big rivalry? Is it a different part of the state? Like, are they dumb up in the north or something?
Kind of, because people that the higher up you get, the more Upers you get.
Yeah.
Upper peninsulas, and you get a lot more of people with Canadian accents.
Yeah, too much Canadian in them.
Canadian accents.
All right, well, yeah, just send us an email. We should be able to take care of that for you, dude.
And I know you guys are doing this thing next week of the online.
The tournaments?
Yeah, and
that's called a segue in the business.
Awesome, dude. This guy's like reading off our topic
Okay,
list.
go ahead, please.
I'm sorry. I don't really have a team, but I'm a part of Rooster Teeth, and I'm a part of Halo on Xbox on Live. So do I have to have a team, or is there a way to set it up so I can just be like a lone guy and just team up with people?
Well, I would say that for a team game, having a team would actually be kind of an important thing. But I'll tell you what, David Keller of Southern Michigan, you can go into the tournaments, and you can look, and every tournament has its own set of forums. And in each of those forums, there will be a thread for looking for team, and you can try to find a team there, or you can just join one of the individual tournaments.
All right, awesome. I'm glad I got to talk to you. Like I said, I'm out on my break right now. I'm like, let's get the number to call. So this is awesome. Thank you guys. Sorry for bothering you during work. You guys have a good day.
All
Okay,
right.
yeah. Why don't you tell us your username on the site so that people can go visit you?
What?
Why don't you tell us your username on the site so that people can go visit you?
Zach of Hard Rock.
Second Hard Rock.
Zach of Hard Rock.
Zach of Hard Rock. Is it Zach with an H or Zach with a K?
With a K.
With a K. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for your call.
Yep, you guys take care.
All right, bye. All right, next on the phone we have Gertrude from Kalamazoo.
I don't know how he came through. Sometimes the crazy people get through the screening.
That was a pretty ridiculous call. Gus, I'm going to turn you back down.
I can't. What are the odds that dude calls and we're in the middle of trying to record our podcast?
Go figure. So that was our first and probably only call-in ever.
There you go.
For the
Please,
podcast.
for the love of God, never call us.
Yeah, you will not catch us doing the podcast. I promise.
Do not look up our number. You'll get an angry Gus who will yell at you and then hang up on you.
But not in a fun way that you
Not
would
in
think
the
would
fun-
be kitschy and cute.
Yeah, not in the comic way.
In a demoralizing way.
Yeah. So he had a Christian sketch comedy show that he thought would be a good fit for Red vs. Blue. I can see that. I can totally see that. Okay, since he gave us, David Keller from Southern Michigan gave us such a great segue, should we talk about tournaments?
Let's do it. Let's
definitely.
talk about tournaments.
How long have we been working on the tournaments module?
It's probably something we've been talking about for 2.5 years.
Ooh, yeah, at least.
Longer.
Was it in the Rooster Teeth 2.0 spec?
It was
Yes.
in 2.0.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that would put us like 3 years ago, maybe.
In fact, I remember a big part of it, too, is it was going to be to show how long this has been in development, it was tied to polls. Well before we had polls, we had tournaments in there.
Yep.
And one of the modules we want to continue to work on and bring out is a poll tournament, where each one of these segments is like this versus this, and then you go through 32 different polls, and you end up with a winner of voting, which is how somebody could use it. I mean, what we've got is we've got this basic generic module where anybody can make a tournament, and it gives you a bracket of, what is it? Does it go all the way down to 4, 8, 16, and 32 teams? 64 just doesn't fit in our site, and you can't have it look good in any way. And so you can use it for whatever, though. I mean, ideally, this is going to be designed to have people run video game tournaments on Xbox Live and things like that.
Or vote on hottest chicks or whatever.
You can do anything.
That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah, you can fill in the text fields however you want, and you're the person who determines like what is the actual competition that's taking place here.
Yes,
I guess theoretically people could just use it to print out their NCAA brackets if they wanted to.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, is that illegal?
No,
No.
Of course not.
to write
Printing out a bracket? What the fuck?
Printing out a bracket.
Is it illegal to write teams on a piece of paper? No, that's not illegal. And the cool thing about our functionality too is that it's not locked. So like if you fuck up, you can just change the team. And say, yeah, I totally picked them. Why not? And then it handles everything for you. Like all you do is you do have to, in order to advance someone, you do have to enter in a score. But you can enter in pretty much anything. Like it accommodates for like Left 4 Dead scores of like 5,000, 800 points, or you can just have 1 versus 0, and that's it.
And so to kick it off, what are we doing? We're having a week of staff-run tournaments next week.
Yes, we're recording this on Friday, and hopefully I can get this fucking podcast put out. It took forever last week to get it out. But, yeah, so today being Friday the 17th, starting on Monday, this coming Monday, the 20th, we're going to start having staff-run tournaments, and then after that, we just completely turn it over to the users.
Yeah.
Sponsors will be able to make and run their own tournaments, and that should be a blast.
It should be fantastic. But for the inaugural week, we're going to start off with, CTF for Halo.
Yep.
Obviously, it's like the standard
That's Monday.
for Monday. Tuesday, we're going to do Halo Wars, one-on-one.
One-on-one.
Wednesday is Arcade Day. That's going to be Peggle.
Yep.
Which is very exciting.
There's no Halo arcade game.
Peggle, you and I both wanted to play in, and the tournament filled up so fast we couldn't get in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once the tournament's got momentum, they fill up really fast now.
We should make our own tournament.
We should.
And what are we doing Thursday?
Thursday night we're doing Griff Ball.
And then Friday would be Team Slayer on Halo?
Team Slayer and Halo.
I'm impressed. That's a good memory.
That's actually
Nice.
cool because we just added a new feature for that where you can add a modifier for the rounds. And on the Team Slayer one, we actually change maps every round. So
cool.
it says it on the round, like the first round is Guardian, second round is Blackout, then Construct, and then the Pit for the championship.
Real cool.
Championships in the Pit.
Yeah, it's a good. I think
That's
a
a great map for
yeah,
a championship.
for Team Slayer. Yeah, it's a good like team-based one because it's symmetrical and it
The
just
Pit-
seems like an arena.
Pit's probably my favorite map in Halo 3 to play in.
It's a good map.
You like it because it's where you got your overkill.
It doesn't hurt, yeah.
we did
And my Step and Razor, I think.
I kind of like Snowbound myself.
Really? I don't ever play
I like
Snowbound
the
anymore.
dynamic of the shields, running in and out of them and using them.
Yeah.
How about you?
I've always liked Valhalla. I just like it.
It's too big for me.
Nope.
I don't play a lot of big team games, so.
Just reminds me of Blood Gulch. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
So there's not big team games in Valhalla.
There aren't?
No. That's 8-player map.
Valhalla is?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Well, I don't play team games. I only play Lone Wolves.
Okay.
And like David from Southern Michigan asked, if you're looking for a team, you can always just go diving into the forums for the tournaments, and you can find people who are also looking for a team in there. Which is one of the frustrating aspects of tournaments, is like hurting all these people and trying to get them to work on stuff. Our one-on-one tournaments, they fill up so fast.
Yeah.
But the people looking for team, there will literally be a 10-page thread of individuals saying, I'm looking for a team. And you're like, can no one make the connection here that everybody's looking for a goddamn team?
Someone just needs to make the initiative. And
Somebody
gather
make,
them up.
somebody make a team.
Post 9 through 12, group up.
Yeah,
You're a
you're
team.
done. Take everyone divide by 4.
Yeah.
You're all on the same team. So, and then the way we make teams is we use the. I'm a huge fan of making modules on the site and then building those into other things. And now, like the group functions on the site, which also had a change this week. We use those group modules for making teams, and then those can be added to tournaments.
Yes, absolutely.
And the cool function now that's added to groups is you can kick people out of your group.
A long time coming. Then.
Yeah, probably one of the first things we should have added. We should add
Yeah.
how to invite somebody to a group and then how to kick somebody out of a group. Before you had to be just really mean to them or politely ask them to leave.
Or if
and
you're
never
staff,
come
you can
back.
just delete their account. And that's one way to get them out of there.
We actually discovered another problem with groups as a result of tournaments, and that is the dupe check for group names was busted. So we could have had multiple groups with the same name.
And we did.
And we did. Ben ran a dupe check, and do you know what the most commonly duplicated group was?
I'm gonna take a guess at the blue team.
I'm going to guess hentai.
Furries. It was Red Team.
Red
with
team, really?
27 instances.
27 red teams.
Go red team. Can't get it together. They're all looking for teams.
Suck it,
They
blue.
are. They're all-
They couldn't figure out how to gather up.
So fragmented.
But, okay, so we got that going, and we think it's running well. If you're interested in looking at that, you can just go to roosterteeth.com/tournaments, or you can find it on the Games tab under Tournaments as well.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
even though they're filling up, I guess the general rule of thumb is, just keep adding yourself to that registration forum, and, as people drop out, and trust me, people will drop out, we're going to be adding in alternates. And I want to say, everyone should please be very patient. One thing we learned from Griffball is that, there's a lot of antics in tournaments, and once people start playing games competitively, even on a stupid basis like this, they get high emotions.
Oh, yeah.
High emotions.
Very high.
So just keep that shit in the background, please.
No one's trying to steal your Cloud song. We're all friends.
Oh, man. If you've never seen the video, You Stole My Cloud song, you should absolutely go watch You Stole My Cloud
Pause this,
song.
go watch it, and then come back.
It's a video of Dark Age of Camelot.
It's not even a
right?
video. It's just audio. Like, dudes yelling at each other.
You nerfed my Cloud song.
You stole my Cloud song.
You fuck! I know where you live! It's a great thing about some kind of chat where one of the guys stole a Cloud song.
I guess it's some item, and some guy wanted it, and someone else stole it from him, and...
Gus pretends like he doesn't know, but Gus did play Dark Age of Camelot.
You did, too. Don't act like a
I
fucking
didn't say I
asshole.
didn't. I'm not saying I don't know what a Cloud song
I don't know what a
is.
Cloud song is. I played Dark Age of Camelot for like 10 days.
Yeah, right. Gus has an official Cloud song replica hanging on his wall, I bet, at home. And I'm going to steal it.
It's what I refer to my penis. It's my Cloud song.
Oh, that's nice.
That's great. That's good
Well,
to
then you
know.
would be upset if somebody stole it. That would actually be justified. That guy yelling into, what is it, Ventrio, or what was
Probably
that?
Ventrilo.
Ventrilo, yeah. People don't use that anymore, do they?
Oh, no, they totally use it all the time.
Do
Do
they?
they?
Oh, yeah.
Over
I guess if you're on a
TeamSpeak?
PC, you've got
Oh,
to,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Well, plus Ventrilo has Mac support. I don't think
okay.
TeamSpeak does yet.
There you go.
Speaking of which, Gus, you and I should probably try to kick off. People keep asking, can they do PC tournaments? Maybe you and I should make a PC tournament just to do it. Why don't we have a StarCraft tournament?
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I have to find my CDs. I don't know where those are.
Oh, you can get it for like $10, dude.
You know, I know we talked about WoW last week, and I hate to keep giving Blizzard plugs.
We talked about it this week already.
But they introduced Blizzard's migrating World of Warcraft accounts into Battle.net accounts, which is kind of like a Steam thing, where you register your email address, you log in with that email address, but you can also associate game CD keys with that email address. So if I entered a CD key and associated it with my Battle.net logon, I never have to buy StarCraft again. I can always just re-download it, because I've already proved that I have the CD key for it and I purchased it legitimately.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, you can always just get the media again.
That is why I bought a new notebook. That's why I got back into WoW, was because I found out if I just did the 10-day trial, I could just download the software for free, as opposed to buying it in the store. And that's what got me going again on WoW. Just so you know. And I didn't realize until after the fact either. I could have told you, you could have referred me.
But I wouldn't have gotten any credit unless you played and started paying.
Oh, I guess so? Okay, that makes
that's
sense.
true.
I recruited my wife, so I've got the Swift Zevra amount in game now.
Awesome. I'm surprised people aren't, having kids yet to, take advantage of that.
You got a Swift Zevra mount? Is that what you got?
Yeah. It's like a zebra with a horn.
I should have got that too because I referred my wife.
You have to refer someone, and they have to pay for 2 or 3 months.
Oh, dude, totally
of game
there.
time. Yeah.
So go get it.
I should log in. I haven't logged in a
Yeah,
long
if you
time.
log
Probably
in, you
6
should
weeks.
have mail in your box.
Okay, that's cool.
Oh, no, wait, no, you don't get it in-game. You have to redeem. You have to go to, the account management through the worldofwarcraft.com site,
really?
and you have to select which character you want to gift it to.
Okay.
The achievements are pretty cool.
Achievements are pretty cool.
Pretty rough.
Hey, speaking of achievements, I've got a piece of useful information some kid on YouTube just told me about.
What's that?
I don't know if you guys are up on the Halo Mythic DLC achievements, but there's a couple that are really hard to get, which are the infection achievements, because nobody ever pulls infection in a game type on Mythic maps.
Yeah.
But apparently, if you have a social party and you party up with all people that have Mythic, and then you play Rumble Pit, in 3 or 4 maps you'll get an infection game type, and you can get those achievements. They're super rare. Nobody has them because you just never run across them.
Cool.
But there's a little pro tip of the day for you.
So you just have to know a bunch of people with Mythic.
You just have to
and
know a bunch of
party
people
up
with
together.
Mythic,
I'm
party
sure,
up,
yeah,
and
there's tons of people who
play
have it.
Rumble Pit until it shows up.
Well, that's a great idea. Tournaments have kind of sidelined this a little bit, but we had our Xbox Live community date last week, which was awesome.
Oh
Yeah.
shit, we totally did.
Yeah, and we played Mythic map packs all night with a bunch of different people, and I think we all had the same experience where it was just non-stop invites and messages over Xbox Live.
Yeah, it was crazy. I've never it's mind-boggling. You can't explain that to someone.
Yeah, like to put it in perspective, I sent Gus a game invite, and it showed up about an hour and 45 minutes later to Gus.
Yep.
It was ridiculous.
I put up a video of it that showed my dashboard with like blink, 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 and as soon as one would go away, another one would come
every
up.
6 seconds.
But it was hard to explain. Like the system couldn't keep up with the alerts because, like Jeff said, I would send a game invite, and I would go into a game, the match would start, we'd be almost done with it, and then I'd see the game invite sent that gave me my alert.
The alert that pops up on your screen takes about 4 or 5 seconds for it to come up, make the noise,
it's
then go
6
away.
seconds.
And so if you're getting more than one every 6 seconds, they start just backing up.
Yeah.
And they must have instituted some kind of rolling thing on our accounts because you can have about 110 messages in your Xbox Live inbox. And what I was running into was someone would send me a message or I'd see the alert saying so-and-so invited you to play Halo 3, and it wouldn't be in my inbox because it would have already rolled out.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like, the alerts didn't match what was in my inbox because my inbox was like
instantaneous.
200 messages ahead
Yeah,
of
the
alerts.
I would quit a game of Halo and then go to my dashboard and try to find the people who wanted to play with me most recently. And I would start inviting them. I'd invite, 5 or 6 people. And by the time I stopped inviting them, they had already rolled from being the most recent invites. They were almost gone from my list of 100 messages. They were almost out the other end. Just to send 5 invites.
But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I definitely want to take part in a community playdate for Xbox, that's not themed for us, like for other people now.
Yeah, absolutely. It was
just so much fun to play with other people who are interested in the same things.
I wonder if you could, like, from an end user perspective, it might not be the same experience though. Trying to get in and not knowing whether or not you're going to get in.
I'm sure it's not. But you end up like on that night, like say just for instance, like Penny Arcade, right? And then you would be in there with a group of people who all like Penny Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, chances are you're going to
whether you're playing with Gabe or Tycho or not, you're going to be with the guys that are also Penny Arcade fans.
Yeah, and I wish they had a way to concentrate that. Like you could all go in a room together, or
like a
something,
special
like a lobby or something.
special hopper for that.
Yeah, going in a room together sounds kind of creepy.
Also, Penny Arcade doesn't have multiplayer, which is a problem.
No, I'm saying if like a Penny Arcade night.
Yeah.
Red
sure.
vs. Blue has no multiplayer at all.
That's a good point too. But we also don't have a game.
Right, exactly. I'm talking about
Penny
a
Arcade
Penny Arcade, the website.
Sure.
Night.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would play. They do have their own game. I guess they would play what? Some obscure game no one's ever heard of. That involves virtual dice.
They play Rainbow Six Vegas or like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Puzzle Quest.
Uno.
Quest.
We're actually looking because of tournaments. We've been looking at arcade games to find ones that have decent multiplayer. Not that easy.
Yeah, it's surprising. There really aren't that many.
Uno.
But if you want to see more about that, like see that video I posted, it's in my journal. I posted I have a Vimeo account, and I posted the capture from my dashboard that has all those alerts popping up.
Go to roosterteeth.com/Bernie Burns.
There you go. No, Bernie.
Just Bernie.
/Bernie, sorry.
Yeah.
You can see it.
And then I posted a video of Teddy doing behind the scenes work.
That was awesome.
You got that little flip phone.
Yeah.
Or I keep calling it a flip phone. It's a flip camera.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get one of those. It seemed pretty cool. I've been looking at them ever since you mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, then seeing the video Teddy made. I could do that.
I could do what a 4-year-old can do.
Plus,
in theory.
He does a stress test in the middle of it. He drops the thing and then picks it back up, and it doesn't miss a beat.
What's a flip cost?
It records an hour of high def, and it costs about $200.
When you say high def, what does it record?
720p.
Okay.
And it's okay. I mean, it's low light. The biggest problem with it is that it's so small that it's hard to hold it without just making it shake.
Sure.
Yeah, it seems like the shaking and low light performance would be a concern, but whatever. They're actually, I looked at them. They're $230, and if you go to their website, you can order it from them, and you can upload your own like JPEG or whatever, and you can buy a camera skinned with whatever image you upload.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's pretty.
That's pretty cool. So I can have like a boner.
Yeah. This portion of the podcast is brought to you by
Flip.
Flip.
I don't even know what company makes it.
Speaking of HD recording, should we talk about what we've been doing all week in the office?
Yes, yeah. I was going to lead to that from Teddy shooting his little HD video.
We could end with this.
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to get out of here, but
well, we could talk about the stupid thing that happened on Twitter.
Yeah, fucking Michigan screwed up our timeline here.
What's it? Yeah, the phone
true.
call. But this thing that's happened on Twitter this week. Twitter's just descending so rapidly. There's this big race. Did you guys hear about it between CNN?
Oh man, I wish I didn't hear about it. I wish I had no
Kutcher?
idea what you were talking about.
Is it Kutcher?
Ashton Kutcher.
Kutcher. Okay. Well, he's the highest rated individual on Twitter, where people are rated by how many people follow them.
Above Shaq?
Yeah, that's ridiculous, right? Shaq's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
so what's his rating? How many people follow him?
Oh, well, he was gonna break 1 million, and then CNN was the highest rated group or company, I guess you could say, and he was above A+K, which was Ashton Kutcher.
You know why? Because he posted pictures of Demi Moore's ass on Twitter the other day.
Did he really?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
A couple weeks
Fucking
ago.
do it. That would do it for me.
Yeah.
What's going to take away my point I was going to make?
It was awesome ass, too.
Really?
A+ ass.
A+K.
Yeah.
But so
A+K.
the race was, could he beat CNN to 1 million? And people got really behind Ashton Kutcher and said, and really wanted him to win because they wanted like a media company to win, to get to 1 million. But it's like, it's Ashton Kutcher, I mean,
yeah.
Does anybody give a shit?
No.
And is somehow a celebrity posting about nothing that's more interesting than actually breaking news?
We all just got punked.
Yeah. And then I found out the CNN channel wasn't even CNN. It's a guy who wrote a script that takes CNN's alerts from email and then sends them over to Twitter. And he owned the account. CNN didn't own the account. It's just some random guy on the internet. To me, that's way cooler.
Yeah, he
that's
was
pretty
like
cool.
some web developer who wrote like some Ruby application to import all that stuff.
And we're all going to get excited about Ashton Kutcher? It's just crazy.
You haven't seen the photos of Demi Moore's ass.
I haven't now, though. Yeah, it's like I said, that's going to totally devalue everything I was about to say. So never mind. I'm going to go follow him now and find that. But, yeah, it's just, you definitely tell that Twitter's reaching some kind of weird, like, critical mass.
Yeah,
that
so.
all these things hit. That's just like, who knows what's going to happen,
I don't know.
We didn't hit that critical mass yet.
We're still working on it. Maybe with these podcasts, we'll get there.
Do you do any Twitter updates from your cell phone? Do you have your cell phone, your mobile device binded to your Twitter account?
I get stuff to my mobile phone, but I do it all usually from the computer. I have a thing called Tweety. Here's the problem, though, too. It's not always clear where stuff's coming from. Because I was subscribed to Jeff's wife's Twitter, and her stuff would come to my mobile phone. It's an alert that sends out to your mobile phone. So I thought she was just texting me. So I replied back to her, and it went on my fucking Twitter, my reply.
And it should not have been on Twitter.
No, probably what I wrote should not have been on Twitter. But it went down fast, and nobody ever commented on it.
You probably notice when you tell you're not texting her phone number. You're texting some other weird number.
It just came up Griffin Ramsey. That's what it said.
That's my wife's name.
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want to give
Yeah.
that away.
Should we bleep that out?
Send her email.
Along with our email address and our phone number.
But anyway, so that was kind of interesting. And then that's that was just happened yesterday. So Ashton Kutcher won. I hate to spoil it for anybody,
aw.
but
By the way, it was fun to watch you freak out and try to figure out how to delete a Twitter from your phone.
we were in Amsterdam. If that helps clue it in at all. I'm on the European 3G network, going, how the fuck do I delete this fucking Twitter? I thought we were gonna have to go back to the hotel. And this thing is sitting out there in the public view. I'm like, oh my god, get this thing out of here. So I shouldn't even talk about it. There's probably some history I don't know
Special
about.
times.
Funny.
Yeah.
Time to go to TwitHist.
Twit
to see what it was.
the twit machine.
The twit back machine.
God, I'm getting so sick. That's gonna be like the new thing for this year. Is gonna be like puns on Twitter for some dumb app that interfaces with Twitter that does something that you don't really care about anyway. Like how often is a certain letter used, or something like that.
I care about that.
There's TwitDeck, Tweety, Twitter Bitter. There's all these fucking
Quitter.
applications.
Quitter,
Quitter's one
yeah.
doesn't work. I tried it. It doesn't work. Maybe it works and I didn't do it right. That's usually the way it is for me.
Certainly possible, yeah.
There's something I signed up with for a long time ago that I'm just convinced doesn't work, even though everyone in the world uses it, because the sign-up process didn't work for me.
Email?
No. It's mygamercard.net.
Oh.
That verification process didn't work, so I'm like, okay, this site's broken.
I've never signed up for MyGamerCard.net, but yet I'm on there. I don't know how that worked. Somebody, I guess, signed me up. Thank you, somebody.
So,
what are you going to do?
Okay, so you want to talk about what we've been doing?
Yeah, we want to talk about what we've done all this week?
I guess so. I mean, we keep asking if we want to talk about it. I guess we want to talk about it. We were shooting some shorts this week.
Yeah, we shot 2.
Live action shorts.
2 live action shorts. Now, we do this, just like the podcast do, there's a lot of stuff we do that we don't necessarily put out there. We had this red camera that we've had now for a few months, like 3 or 4 months.
That's what we shot
Longer
Captain
than
Dynamic
that.
on.
Yeah, I guess like 6 months now,
Yeah.
yeah. And it took us forever to get the red camera. And then we've been building out the package. And, I mean, we love this thing. It's awesome. It's what we use to shoot Captain Dynamic. And, yeah, we've been...
For those who don't know, the Red is like a super HD camera. It shoots in 4K resolution, and it's phenomenal. It's got great picture quality, much more like film than digital.
And 4K is like
you
quadruple the size of what you see on a movie screen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a
it's
2K
retarded.
image would be like, I'm going to get the numbers wrong. It's like 2048 by 1536. So 4K would be 4096 by 3072.
Yeah.
Dude, if that's correct, I've got a huge boner for you.
I think it is. I might be like 20 pixels off. On
And Matt, the guy who plays Sarge in Red vs. Blue, he used to work in the visual effects industry. And they would scan into the computer. They would scan frames of film for visual effects work. A series of frames. And they would put their little, digital magic on it. And then they'd put it back out to film. And the resolution that they would give him was 2K. So what you saw on screen for the horrible movies that Matt worked on, at least, were 2K images. It's typically what you see. It's 2K. And the Alamo here in Austin is getting some 4K projectors.
They got them.
They got them. I
The
watched
Alamo
my
Village.
first 4K movie, Monsters vs. Aliens, in 4K.
So try to imagine, if you will, if you'll go from standard def TV to high def TV. I mean, this is like going to high def movies.
Yeah, it's like high def, high def.
Yeah, well, it's
Or like from VHS to DVD.
Yeah,
That was a big one.
I mean, imagine if they start advertising high def movies. The problem is we can't tell.
Right.
The human eye can't tell the difference, but it just looks awesome.
Yeah. Awesome's awesome.
Although say that I haven't seen it. You've said that, but then my dad tells me he cannot see the difference between SD and HD.
Well, lots of people.
I hear people
No,
say that all the
knocking,
time.
no knocking your dad, but lots of old people have trouble with that.
No, I believe that, but I hear a lot of people say they can't tell the difference between standard def and high def.
No. Lots of people can't tell when a 4:3 images stretch out to 16:9, or
That's
when they
true.
do that warping.
Those
and
people
they
should be shot.
move the edges out.
Can you tell the difference between 720 and 1080?
On my big TV at home, I can.
He's shaking his head.
I
no.
cannot. No. Like between 720p and 1080i?
Yeah.
No.
I can't tell the
You
difference.
need to have a display over like 50 inches before you can really tell.
Okay,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I've tried. Can't see it.
I can't see the difference at all. Like, if I have to switch from one to the other, I don't think about it. It doesn't make any
Yeah.
difference to me at all.
Just like when I saw Monsters vs. Aliens this last weekend, it was in 4K, but it was also 3D, so I don't know what the fuck I was looking at.
So you're
It
looking
just
at like
looked
12
good.
KD.
Yeah. It just looked awesome, but it didn't look any more awesome than like Coraline, which I saw in 3D a couple weeks before that.
I'm also the same way, by the way, with audio. Like, people who can tell the difference between analog and digital, like CDs, I don't fucking hear that. I don't know what the hell they're talking
Yeah.
about. And people who bitch about, like, MP3s only being, like, 192K compression, I'm like, who the hell can tell the difference
Yeah, that's
between...
true. On the audio side, I have no idea. I could listen to a 64K
Yeah.
MP3 and be like, oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. So hopefully, if we can do a good job with these things and edit them right, and we did a decent job of writing them and acting them, we'll put them out. Otherwise, we'll just put them in a corner somewhere in a hard drive, and you'll never see them again.
Hide them with all the bad podcasts that
Yeah.
never made
Yeah,
it.
I think Matt said if everything goes well, barring any complications, that maybe late next week we might see one of them.
And
Okay.
then another one the following week. I think they're going to turn out well. I've looked at a lot of the rough footage, and I think they were pretty funny.
One of them was basically Matt wrote one. It's
Do
basically
we
him.
want to spoil anything?
No, it's basically him and Joel in it.
Yeah.
And then there's one that I wrote that's got Shannon in it. I just want to bring up Shannon. He said we got to work with Shannon again this week.
Yeah.
And he's the guy who played Wash. And we just saw him in Les Miserables.
Yeah, he told us while we were filming yesterday that he was in the Les Mis movie, and my wife's a huge fan, so she started streaming it on Netflix and told me exactly where he was. So I streamed it in my browser and showed all the guys in the office.
He like Agent Washington a la Napoleon.
Agent
It was pretty
Washington
funny.
handing Jean Valjean over to Jeffrey Rush.
Dude, I mean, as much fun as I just made of, like, people following Ashton Kutcher, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool to see, Shannon on screen with Jeffrey Rush and Liam Neeson.
Yeah,
It's
it's pretty
cool.
Yeah, it's
Pretty
pretty
fucking
fucking
cool.
cool. Yeah.
Everybody, did he have any lines? Because you had the sound turned
he
down.
had a couple lines.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because I want to do stuff like that, like take like actors that we know, like with their early smaller parts, where they're just like with like ultra famous people. Have you guys ever seen the movie Simone?
Simone, yeah.
It's it was Al Pacino and Winona Ryder in a scene with Joel,
Yep.
with who plays Caboose, who was here last week too. And it's him standing between the two of them, and they're yelling back and forth and yelling at him. And it's just like the weirdest fucking thing. It's like you're in a scene, and he never talks about that. Like he cites all of his other work, but for some reason never cites that. So if you,
He got yelled at. It's embarrassing.
I guess so, right? If you want to stream on Netflix, it's Sim ONE or ON3.
I think it's Sim 0NE.
0NE.
Wasn't that the bit of that? Like he was
Look about
Winona
Pacino.
Ryder's assistant, and she was like undressing him in front of everybody.
Joel. Yeah.
Joel, yeah,
verbally addressing him.
yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, yeah, not
Yeah.
not like with dicks and stuff.
Yeah, who wants to see Winona Ryder's dick?
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. What else do we need to talk about? Changes? Any other changes coming to the website?
Not that I know of.
Now we got groups pretty much shored up.
Yep.
Tournaments are
There
out
is a
and about.
component. I want to say we keep saying we're done with new features, but there is a component of tournaments that we did not include, and that's tokens. And we'll get back into that later. But there's a thing on could potentially be coming down the road with the website for tokens for the development of the site. I'm losing my train of thought. Anyway, thanks, guys. I also want to give a shout out to Ben for the work he did on tournaments this week.
Tremendous.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
He also authored that cock bar thing in like 2 seconds.
What's the website you want to plug about that?
Yeah, what's that website the kid made?
What? Oh, canbenrtdoit.com.
You should definitely check that site
And this is
out.
basically like our life in the office. It's like we say to Ben, "Hey, can you do something?" And like it's done 10 seconds later.
And we come up with like, sometimes you just like just to fuck with him, just to see what he can do. You come up with something ridiculous.
No,
you know?
do you do that?
A little bit. And you're like, hey, would it be
Great.
possible to
No
do
wonder
this?
groups didn't work for so long. Thanks, Jeff.
No, not to see if he did. He'd be like, I think I could figure that out. And you're like, all right, well, don't do it. I made it up. But no,
I
the
did
kid
that.
is the
A big
kid's
thing we're trying to
awesome.
figure out now, and actually I could throw this out to the audience if someone can figure out a way to do it. We are trying to figure out a way to do Slayer tournaments where, like, let's say you have 6 people in a tournament in a match, and the top 3 move on, and then the top 3 from the other bracket move on, and then so those 3 play those 3 and 6, top 3 from that move on. That's a hell of a lot of weird math because the buckets go from being individual units like teams or players to being this split of 3, which is.
It doesn't seem like it would be that difficult.
It's not hard to do on paper at all.
It's not hard until you encounter a tie and then need to move to like a secondary condition like KD ratio.
Trust me, it's hard to do, like, even just to program it where you manually select them and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've been talking about it. On paper, it's a breeze to do. It really is. But the way the tournaments are structured, because don't forget, at every node, you've got 2 units, not 1. And one of the 2 nodes advances. So you can't...
It's just like a one-on-one. It's just think about it the same way as a one-on-one. You got 2 nodes. One of them advances, one of them doesn't.
Well, what's the
But
one
you
that
don't have-
advances?
The one that wins.
Well, how do you know who to put in the node?
The people with the 3 highest scores. It seems like a scrape.
That's not how it works, though.
A scrape through Bungie.net stats should be able to grab that.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it. But you can't do that because you put the people in before the game starts. That's how you determine who's in that game. And then you advance. It's easy after you can advance them. You can figure it out, but you can't backfill. You have to know. So you have to accurately guess which 3 are going to win.
Oh, that's a breeze.
Okay, well, we're done.
All right, I think that's it.
I think I learned a little bit about Rooster Teeth, and I think I learned a lot about myself today.
And you learned how to get your infection achievements.
And I learned what a tip drill is. But that was before the podcast. Bye, everybody.
Ta-ta.